Hold on.
All right, everybody
Yeah.
kind of shake it out. Take a breath.
Shake it off. Shake it off. Sorry. Wrong.
Slightly different, a little similar. All right, so last time on A Crown of Cold Iron, our party of intrepid investigators is crashing towards the finale of their arson investigation. They've been chasing mysterious arsonists all across the town of Queensboro, where they have been targeting religious sites. You've gone to the site of arson against. It's the first time we have not all matched.
Good job, team.
So you've gone to the site of arson upon spiritualists and pathers, and you were at the site of what appeared to be a fiendish attack against a member of a Solinist sect. In light of all of the attacks and all of the craziness, the Solonists, who are perhaps starting to be blamed for all of this because of clues left at the various arson sites, are holding a sort of conference of the various sects and denominations within town to try and figure out a way forward. And so they have gathered at the Hall of Light, which is the central point of Solonism in the town of Queensboro. The sort of radically conservative True Light sect is in attendance, as is the Radiant Dawn, which is a moderate sect of which the young girl who was attacked was a member, and the sort of mainline Solonists, represented by their eminent Airtra Lux. You've been coordinating with Lieutenant Davis of the Special Crimes Unit, who has been seeking your expertise to try and head off these difficulties. This gathering was widely publicized. There was a crowd of protesters and counter-protesters and police, and now they're gone, as the giant Hall of Light seems to have been swept into a hellscape. So at approximately the edges of the lawn of the campus of the Hall of Light, the world seems to tumble into an entirely different world. So in front of you, there's grass. You can still see the Hall of Light, its marble exterior. But out past that, you're actually seeing what looks like a dark, barren hellscape. It is lightly illuminated with this sort of orange glow that seems to come up from below. It seems like maybe there are volcanic vents or cracks running through the ground. And there's sort of a heat haze around that space, sort of delineating not quite a barrier, but a place where the two worlds are. Ironically, it was telling me that I'm streaming. It's interrupting the stream to tell me I'm streaming. Sort of a barrier where the two worlds are coming together. So we left you all basically at the edge of the Hall of Light's main campus here. The world has been sucked into a hellscape, and the last thing before the world was fully sort of subsumed into this space was a phone call to Auric from Nala Caroline saying that her young son has been kidnapped. What do you all want to do?
Can we see any creatures?
Make a perception check.
Hmm.
15?
Something.
A 9.
16.
What is 13 plus 9?
22.
22.
22.
Better than what I did. That's the easy answer.
So the immediate proximity is eerily still. You don't see anything moving across all of this grass. Out past that sort of shimmering distortion, you see hints of motion, and you kind of wish you hadn't. All manner of disturbing forms. It's not so much something present and moving as it is a form sort of implying itself onto space. Like half-seen glimpses of horrific things, spindly, long-limbed creatures that just sort of, you don't even see many details, just a sort of capering motion and horns. You see tree trunk-like legs just thudding across the landscape, whatever is above them sort of fading out of sight. You see flashes of fire and smoke. You smell sulfur and something like brimstone and rotting flesh. All of these horrible smells assaulting you. And not so much something you see, but something you hear. You hear the sounds of conflict breaking out in the Hall of Light ahead of you.
Wait, so we can still see the Hall of Light ahead of us?
Yes, so to give you the image, you were on this campus, this sort of big green area around the central building. All the protesters and the police were around this perimeter. Mm-hmm. Everything just short of the perimeter is gone. It's almost like someone has scooped up the Hall of Light and dropped it into hell.
We are fighting inside. Do we? But
So I've got a one-time use. See what's inside. You want me to use it now?
better than running in blind.
So if we're advancing, when I do it, I'll be blind. So can I like piggyback on Lexi?
Sure.
All right. So let me look at the specifics of what you're going to see. Is it essentially like a familiar, like you see and hear wherever it is?
Yeah, hi, Big Bear.
I can see and hear from the token as if you were located where it is.
If I was being hyper literal, you would hear and see the inside of Lieutenant Davis's pocket. But for
pinned it like to his like badge or something.
Yeah, for narrative purposes, we'll say that it's a little better situated. It is at a weird angle. You get the impression that he does seem to have put it on some kind of like utility belt type thing that he's wearing. So your perspective is strange. You're suddenly at waist level. Your line of sight is filled with light. This sort of warm golden light is just spilling everywhere. And it takes you a second, and you realize it is coming off of Lieutenant Davis. He seems to be locked in combat with figures that you can't quite see just yet, and he's flinging radiant magic. He doesn't seem to have drawn his gun. He's gone straight to like explosions of light, and it bounces, and you're able to kind of see as one of them comes at Davis's side, and they look human-ish. And they're dressed in sort of normal, mundane clothing. And they almost look human, except that their skin is more red than you would expect. And very disturbingly, they seem to have protrusions. It's three men and a woman, and you catch them sort of like moving back and forth as they attack. Some of them seem to have like knives. Some of them are flinging bolts of orange fire at him. And they seem to have horns starting to protrude from their forehead, but it seems to be starting beneath the skin. And it has pressed out far enough that the skin is almost stretched taut, and it's almost translucent. Like you can see the horn pressing up against it. It looks horrifically painful. But it doesn't seem to be bothering them as they fling bolts of fire towards Lieutenant Davis. and you hear groans and the sizzle as it sears across him, and he returns fire with magical light.
All right. So I also want to send Lieutenant Davis a message telling him that we're coming to you. See you shortly.
We seem to
Hold
be.
the line.
Hold the line.
Just in case he doesn't know, we
Yeah.
seem to be in hell.
We seem to be in hell.
Colby's stream monetize.
Colby's not gonna be able to make money off this stream because I'm singing Toto.
Yes.
Oh yeah, want to watch out for that.
So,
This is how Colby makes a living. It's
Colby's
not
getting
being a
demonetized.
pastor. He's just this way.
So you catch. Davis doesn't like say anything, but you can sort of feel his assent to your statement, and you can kind of catch at this weird angle. He sort of takes a step back for a second, brings his hands together, closes them over his holy symbol, and then pulls his hands apart, and a circle of light seems to be forming around him. And you catch, as these creatures come towards it, it's almost like this circle of light lashes out with radiant fire and drives them back. So he seems to be holding the line for a moment.
Cool.
But it is 4 against 1.
yeah. So I will roll 4 red-skinned devil bogeys. Devil people bogeys.
All right.
right.
So you get the impression from Cyrus, you've looked at the layout. You get the impression that Davis was making a stand in sort of the large main entryway. This central hall of light is almost more of a ceremonial and worship space. There's more sort of mundane, everyday spaces in other parts of the building, but it looks like he was in the like stained glass illuminated entryway directly ahead of you.
Okay. Oh, and I will, since I can't see or hear anything, I will just out loud tell Zyra to hit me on the head when I need to break the trance.
It's important that you clarified that it's Zyra and not Lexi, because
Yeah.
Lexi would probably break your head when it's time to...
Lexi would also just drop you since she's carrying you.
+4 strength and rage damage,
Yeah.
8 damage unarmed attack.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Or -1. Hey.
You smack him, and he actually feels a little better.
Yeah, a little bit. It's
All
a
right.
little like healing word, just kind of at the cantrip.
So how do you all want to advance?
Lexi in the front.
Walking.
Dash.
All right. The
Big and
direct frontal approach.
Yeah.
Do you have an order you want to be moving in?
Lexi in the front.
Lexi is a passenger right now. Thank you very much.
Zyra furthest away from the fighting.
That tracks.
You're supposed to be hitting the person that Lexi's carrying
Well,
on the head.
Lexi can also drop me. That works.
See
As I
how
say, if
this...
you want Lexi to have her weapon out, then yeah.
Really just moving.
All right.
Sure, Lexi's in front, then whatever. I don't remember. your
Cyrus.
character's name. Cyrus will be there. And
Yeah, I was
then-
gonna say Cyrus will be next because she just dropped him.
So
Sit down, son.
Yeah. if Auric has actually, I don't know if Auric has mage hand.
I do, yes.
So you could also, well, no, but that takes an
Mage slap.
Mage
yeah.
slap.
Or you could make a smell, since I'm blinded and deafened, but apparently I can still smell.
It feels like a weird gap. All right. So you advance towards the front of the Hall of Light. The marble exterior is glimmering, reflecting back this orange hell light. One thing you notice as you move forward is you had seen before these sort of hanging stained glass art pieces that light was passing through, scattered around the yard. As you have transitioned into this space, a lot of them seem to have been destroyed. And actually, you can see as you advance, you pass near one, and it's glowing with a different color of light, and it is almost like shaking under pressure. And then you see the orange light around it flare up, and another one shatters. And it seems to be happening faster and faster.
Wait, what are shattering? The windows or the pillars?
So there were these sort of stained glass
Oh, the
art
stained
type
glass.
pieces.
The protector rainbows.
Yeah, it seems like they are pushing back against this somehow, and they are not holding out very long.
Cool.
All right, so you've got big double doors ahead of you. Is Lexi charging through? Anything y'all want to do?
Oh yeah. I mean,
It sounds like Davis is in trouble, so
should I rage before I bang the doors open, or should I rage after I bang the doors open?
you're always angry.
It's true. I am always angry,
But not for mechanical purposes.
but not for mechanical purposes.
Not yet, at least. What, at level 20 that a barbarian can rage nonstop?
Endless
Oh, yeah.
rage.
I can't wait. Let's see here. Inventory.
Equip the rage.
Equip the rage. The rage has been equipped. Let's bang down some doors.
All right. So
I take vitamins because my vitamin alarm just went off.
so Auric, you get Cyrus sort of back up. Cyrus, you have time to see. You about 30 or so seconds have passed as you all are getting arranged and running up to the door, and you've been watching as Davis has been fighting, and it's honestly kind of impressive. You had never really seen Davis in a combat situation before. You would guess that he is at least as strong as you all are, if not maybe a little stronger. He created that area of like burning radiance, and he seems to have also like scooped off a piece of it and formed it into like a miniature bright white sun. And with one hand, he's directing the sun to smack into them and knock them back. And with the other hand, he's flinging more bolts of flame. But it's only sort of working. Every so often, one of them gets lucky and a firebolt cuts across. Your whole field of vision is rocked as a firebolt streaks across his cheek, and his whole body turns with it, and your vision swings wildly. So, Lexi, you kick in the door. Your first impression is of beautiful, dazzling light. Everything in here has a sort of unfortunate orange tint to it, but you know what this space normally looks like. This room has a kaleidoscopic assortment of prismatic crystals just all around the room. And wherever the light strikes them, it's casting color down, almost like a rain of color around the room, except that all of it is skewed orange by the nature of the light coming into the space. And so, Cyrus, you see what you had already been seeing now from a better angle. Davis has his back to the wall. He's now got several burned patches on his clothing and across his arms and face. And he's badly hurt one of these demonic men coming after him. But the other three are continuing towards him. And I'm going to have you all roll initiative.
All right.
Whoop, over Zoom. There we go.
17.
All right, Lexi 17, Cyrus 14.
Zara 14. Which of us?
My dex is +4, so I think that's me.
Okay.
Five.
Zara.
And
And-
5 for Auric.
5. That's okay. I don't need to be first.
All right, I'm going to distribute some damage. All right, so at the very top of the order, I'm going to give him an aura. He cast Spirit Guardians. 15 feet. All right. So at the very top of the order is Lexi.
All right. So what made Lexi rage really truly was that she ran out of bubble gum. So all that is left is to kick ass. All right, so Lexi strides her butt up to the nearest demon and smacks it with her mallet.
All right. I'm going to move y'all a little further inside.
Oh no, okay. I thought I rolled a 1. I rolled a 7, so I rolled a 14 total.
What is your movement speed?
Oh, my
Oh, you
movement
got-
speed
you
is
got-
40.
Yeah, you got increased speed this level.
Yeah, I got more speed this round. I have 40 now.
Whoa.
Just because it's cool, I'm going to go ahead and move you forward just a little bit more. That way you can actually make that move.
Sweet.
We'll say you really crashed just straight through the door before they got up and running. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So you said you rolled a 14?
I rolled a 14.
14 will hit.
Okay. And 12 damage.
All right. So this guy doesn't seem to be wearing any armor, but as you swing towards him, you can see like a shimmering field of this orange draped over him like a cloak. And he has just a moment of surprise as he turns around and meets your mallet coming the other way. He does not drop from this hit, but when you hit him, he spits something in abyssal, and you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Great.
Here's when I should have had Abyssal.
I rolled a 6.
All right. Oh, need to move the turn order. There we go. Nope, that was not better. It's
I
time
also
to get to my dice.
2 actions now.
2 attacks per action.
2 attacks per action. So, yeah, thank you.
Well, he rolled quite badly for damage. So
Sweet.
when you swing at him, this fire bursts out. It would normally deal 8 points of fire damage, but you are protected by that glowing amber light. So you're only going to take 4.
Sweet.
And you have another attack, don't you?
I do.
Level 5.
Level 5.
Extra speed and extra attack.
Oh, 17.
17 will hit.
And 11 points of damage.
You almost instantly drop this guy like to his knees. He is not dead, but he is profoundly hurt.
Bet you wish I still had bubblegum.
He doesn't know that reference because that movie doesn't
I'm
exist
sure
in
he
this world.
doesn't.
All right, Cyrus, you are up.
All right. Is anybody engaged with Lieutenant Davis?
Yeah, I'd say that one's engaged.
Okay.
and you're 60 feet away.
All right. I'm gonna hex him, and I'm gonna hex the one that's engaged with Davis and shoot it.
All right. It is hexed. Go ahead and make your attack.
$19.
Was she in the bathroom?
All right. 19 definitely hits.
Okay.
Come on, Goober, come sit with us. Play some D&D. Yeah?
Plus 11 is 18. That's 18 piercing and 5 necrotic for a total of 23.
All right. So you regained your sight as you came in. You stride onto this space. Even as Lexi just goes full like wham, wham, and just whack-a-mole someone. You've got a little more reserve. You make an arcane eldritch gesture at this occupied foe, and this now familiar calling of birds, seemingly from nowhere, and he is surrounded by flapping shapes and feathers, and he has just a moment to turn and go, huh? And your arrow just... And he is dead. Fully dead.
Good job.
Fully dead.
He's not mostly dead. He's all dead.
All dead.
All good.
And then I just want to go like... I don't want anybody to be in range, so I'm gonna go like 20 feet like northwest.
All right. Oops, that's northeast. As many video games as I play, you would think I'd be better at cardinal directions. Comes up in games way more than real life, just for reference.
North is always the top of your page.
Yeah, it's that whole east-west bit. All right. So one target down, one target badly hurt. Another one was already hurt by Davis. And it is Zyra's turn.
So there's 2 targets who are up and unharmed?
There's one. The woman is somewhat hurt, but not badly. There's a man in front of Lexi that is on his last legs. And there's a man on the other side of the room who seems to have already taken several hits from Davis's radiant magic.
Davis. That's Lexi. That's the one talking about.
Davis, red dots are bloodied.
And that's me and...
That's you, Zork. So you could probably
Okay,
both of them.
yeah. So I'm going to see the 2 who are unengaged with anyone else.
There's one engaged with Lexi, and the other 2 are off to the side.
Yeah, those 2. The 2 that are unengaged with anyone else who are as yet unharmed. Those 2. I'm going to shout out a loud piercing sound that pierces inside just for them, and it shatters their eardrums in a 10-foot radius sphere.
All right. Is that a Constitution saving throw?
It is a Constitution saving throw. A save of 16. It's the spell shatter.
First one saves. Second one fails.
Okay. Well, let's see what damage they take. They take 13 or 6.
All right. The one who was somewhat injured is now horrifically injured, and the one who was mostly okay is not looking great. Your piercing sound is so loud that these magical ripples and distortions coming off of it actually distort the light coming down from above. So temporarily there's ripples through these kaleidoscopic lights, and the two quasi-tieflings both grab their heads and shriek in pain, not that anyone can hear them. All right, anything else?
And I'm going to give Auric a bardic inspiration,
Yay!
All right.
which, just so you know, is a D8.
And just in time, it is Auric's turn.
All right. So just to be clear, all three of them are injured. Two of them badly so.
All three of them are injured. One of them moderately so. Two of them very badly.
Okay.
Two of them are mostly dead. One is not quite near death.
Well, in that case, the most logical choice is just magic missile, one at each.
All right. Roll the first one.
So the one next to Lexi will take 3 damage.
Somehow still alive.
Yes!
The one in the middle takes 2 damage.
I mean, I may regret that because it may then hit me, but, you know.
And the final one takes 5 damage.
The third one is dead.
Woo!
Okay. Sorry, I was getting like theme music from the kitchen. All right, one goes down. One is getting pretty injured, and the other is like, you're looking at him like, how is this person still alive? This sort of fiendish resilience is flowing through them, and it's almost like this orange light around them is holding them up at this point. There's a distinctly like limp marionette quality at this juncture. And nevertheless, you see this figure turn, and Lexi, they're right in front of you, and they just look terrible at this point. One of the horns has like finally burst through a little bit, and it is like weeping assorted fluids. It looks horrible. Nevertheless, it turns towards you, and it turns towards you, and you need to make a
You could have the damage.
make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Help me remember that.
11.
That does not save. This poor... It really truly seems to be animated by this orange light at this point. The being turns, and the orange light flows off of it, causing its legs to go limp, and it pours out of its hands as a torrent of fire. And it deals 14 fire damage, but the amber light of your rage is going to cut that in half.
So 7.
Raging is the best.
Raging's really
You
nice.
effectively have over 100 health while you're raging.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. At the very bottom of the initiative, Davis is kind of like, seems to be a little woozy on his feet. He has taken some substantial hits, but nevertheless, he is going to try and drop the one in front of Lexi with his spiritual weapon. Nope, that would be a 9. So, as his action, he's going to try and hit it with Sacred Flame. It's going to make a dexterity save. It does not succeed. Whew, okay. He just rolled max damage on Sacred Flame. So Davis is like visibly leaning against the wall at this point. He's got these doors to either side, and you can tell he's been trying to sort of hold them back from this space. And he just barely gets a hand up, and you see between his fingers where he's holding it, his holy symbol is glowing so bright, and the glow in his hand fades, and it flares up in that outstretched hand and becomes a ball of bright white fire, and it just smashes into the one in front of Lexi, and it goes down. There is one enemy still standing. He kind of he sort of half chuckles, half coughs a little blood, and says, oh, sorry.
No, you're supposed to say something like how you had that covered.
That's not Davis.
Davis does not know how to flirt with Lexi.
He has zero smooth. Zero, like, there is no artifice to Davis. Like, he is exactly what he looks like. And that makes it Lexi's turn.
Great. So, what else is there to attack?
There is the woman who is about, she's pretty hurt, and she is about 15 feet to your right.
Oh, good, because I can move 40 feet. So I stroll up to her and take a smack. Oh, 26.
Cool. No, that doesn't hit.
That doesn't hit?
Nope, that hits.
It's not the same, even. 12 points.
Now she looks quite badly hurt, and knowing that she seems to be... Actually, it doesn't even seem like it's her. Again, it's almost like this orange cloak of fire around her is now like holding her body up. And when you hit it with your mallet, the fire snaps back at you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
You have advantage. You can see it.
That's true.
Oh, well, I rolled a 17, so...
That'll save.
All right.
So, do you take anything on a successful save now?
It becomes half of half, doesn't it?
Well, it's evasion, isn't it? Or is this something different?
No. She gets advantage in danger sense.
Okay.
What?
Evasion will be me, but not yet.
Okay.
Okay. So you did succeed, yes. So half of half. I've got that loaded up. So 10 points of damage. So 2 points of fire damage.
Wait.
This time it's more visible when this orange light smashes against the amber light surrounding you.
Yeah.
The amber light almost... There's almost a little sass to it. It sort of contemptuously, like, bursts through this orange fire with a snap. Almost like it's brushing away something inconsequential.
Needs more bubble gum.
All right. Attack number 2.
Yeah, get your second attack in.
Oh, yeah. So, is she still standing?
She is. Well, ish. Something
Ish?
is something
All
is
right.
holding her up.
All right, let's see if I can't get rid of that something. Oh, I rolled a nat 20.
So
Which means the mallet goes berserk.
Since she is a creature of fire, does she just spontaneously combust?
I mean, alcohol, man. That shit's flammable.
So I literally don't think there's a way for you to not knock out her health at this point. How do you want to do this?
I mean, this is like an over the head, like, boom,
So
two-handed mallet smack into her brain.
so here's my question. So this is such a powerful hit. You know in this moment that with this amber light flowing around you, and this moment of perfect clarity and power and intensity, you can obliterate this fiendish essence. You could maybe even do it and leave the person unharmed.
Okay.
Or
And
you can
what? I'll
splat them.
try it.
Either way is fine.
You know what? I will try it. If I can actually manage to like vanish the power without killing the child, like sure. If she's being controlled.
All right. So as you bring down your hammer in this like incredible blow, all of the amber light, it almost seems to be like sucked up from your body into the hammer. And when it comes down, instead of like, it's almost like the hammer passes through her, but the amber light floods into the orange and just bursts it apart. The red cast of her skin immediately leaches away. She doesn't look healthy, but she does look alive and human. And there's still like sort of open wounds right here on her forehead, but her eyes just roll up. And there's almost like a look of relief for a second. And she doesn't just like collapse. The amber light almost holds her, and she drops to the ground before it snaps back around you.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
Nope.
So you all just wood chippered those. So Davis is still up against the wall. You're hearing the sounds of more conflict in past the double doors to either side of him. You see him now that they go down. Again, he's got his holy symbol, and he's gathering this golden light on his hand, and he's almost... It almost looks like he's cauterizing his wounds. It's not quite that brutal. It's equal parts sort of like radiance and heat and healing. But he like brushes a hand across his face, and this sort of blackened, open, blistered spot immediately turns into like a 2/3 healed scar. And you see him kind of do the same in some other places. You can see that it has sort of torn through parts of his uniform, and you see him kind of heal those across. It seems to have taken a lot out of him, and he kind of back against the wall. But as he goes down, he's sort of gesturing for you all to come forward.
I mean, there's no one else around.
Yeah.
We're totally just going towards them.
Yeah.
All right, you all approach, and that sphere of light around him sort of fades out. Actually, let me double check the duration. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just hangs. Oh, it's a 10-minute. Okay, nope, it still hangs out. It doesn't seem threatening to you all, though. It's sort of like a distilled sense. Your hand perfectly fine. It's almost like a distilled essence of that impression you had when you arrived here, of this sort of brilliant holy light that sort of suffuses this place. It's like he's concentrated it in this area around him. And he says, I don't know. I don't know how they got in. There's more of them in the room back there. It seemed like they were going after the eminence and the altar. I don't know. I don't know who's left. I don't know who's standing in there. I heard fighting, but then more of them came rushing out of the other rooms. And he wipes away some rapidly drying blood. And he says, I'll try and follow, but I already used a lot of what I can do. Are any of you hurt?
No, if you can hold this line, then that will help us so that you can be the one who defends our backs.
He nods. And Lexi, how dinged are you?
She is down 13.
Yeah.
All right, he's gonna burn. He's gonna burn a level 2 healing word.
Gracious.
Huh.
Oh, and he's gonna roll max. He heals you for 12.
I'll take care of that.
It's not
It's not showing.
live updating damage.
Yeah, you have to refresh to see everybody's stuff. Or are you looking at the Twitch overlay?
I was looking at the Twitch overlay. I thought,
The Twitch overlay just takes a second.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a double door to either side of him. And beyond that, Lexi for sure would know. And Cyrus, you saw the plans. It's the main chamber. It is the Hall of Light, like the central point of Solinist worship in Queensboro. And you can hear something happening in the room.
Important question, Lieutenant. How attached are you to this building?
Not question.
We'd prefer it intact, but I think stopping, I don't know, I guess demon apocalypse or whatever this is maybe more important.
Message received.
He immediately regrets saying that, but is like, he just doesn't have the resources spiritually, physically, mentally, or emotionally to deal with that right this second.
Can I see his holy symbol?
Yeah, it's just hanging there. It's kind of
Okay.
glowing just a little bit.
Okay. I want to clap him on the shoulder and say, don't worry, we've got this. And I want to shift the mantle to just look like it is covered in the Solinist holy symbol.
All right. He kind of looks at you and says, "That's it's an interesting style choice."
Was that Saul?
Neither am I.
All right. Are you all ready to head into the next chamber here?
Presumably, although Lexi is taking care of odd happenings here.
Oh, we should wait a second. There's put it in video game terms. There is a bit of a cutscene.
Rachel would like you to know that our cat literally scared the shit out of herself.
Oh, fun!
Tell more in the back.
We're actually very impressed that our dog has adjusted to his new space with seemingly no difficulties in that respect. So we sort of anticipated that, and it didn't happen.
Kind of like, should I hyperventilate on screen? Because that's my only other option here.
She started in the litter box and then zoomed around the house, and I don't even know.
Well, I will call this a quick kitchen run, and I'll be right back.
Cool.
I'm just gonna get a drink.
And now a word from our sponsors. Cell phones.
I was going to say, what are you drinking?
Oh, actually, I am drinking the Rosemont Lineage. Rosemont is a winery based in Bracey, Virginia, near the North Carolina border. And it is 100% estate-grown grapes. The Lineage is 100% Chardonnay, which is a varietal that is, what's the word I want? A mutation of Chardonnay, but it grows better in this climate.
Fair.
And I know these kinds of things because I worked exactly one shift at Rosemont before we found out we were moving and I had to quit.
Aw.
But the Lineage is one of their wines that is members only. There's a small batch. But I'm a big fan of Rosemont. It's been family owned since a century before it was a vineyard. The Rose family bought the farm in, I want to say, 1848. And every time I say that, I remember bought the farm means they died. That is not what happened. They bought a plot of land and made it a farm. And then in, I want to say 2011, they planted their first grapes.
Cool.
So if you ever feel like coming up 85 and stopping right at the Virginia border, you can find Rosemont and get yourself some good wine.
Think I found it all. But I found more than I expected.
We'll do another check before we go to bed.
She managed to fling it on the bottom of the door of the bathroom cabinet. So it wasn't just on the floor, like small bit.
I don't even want to think about how it happened, but I'm
I don't
curious how it
know
happened.
what happened. I mean, like I said, she scared the shit out of herself. I mean, you saw her dash in here.
It's like she was pooping and she got the zoomies before she stopped.
The Zoopies?
The
That's
zoomies?
zooming.
Yeah, it's when a cat has so much energy that it can't stop
That it
itself
just
from
Oh,
running.
run.
right. Yeah, I was saying that. Would it be the Zoopies? The Poomies?
The zoopies.
The zoopies.
Yeah.
Get more water
All right.
before we start it again. After all this excitement.
This
So-
interlude brought to you by Cat Feces and Wine.
Yes. So just to catch you up, Rachel, we're about to head into the actual words.
Okay. The like main. We were in the narthex and now we're going to the
Yes,
sanctuary.
we were in the narthex. We're heading into the sanctuary. Yes.
All right. Translate it for those of us who
And-
know the lingo.
And Davis foolishly told me that while he would prefer the building to remain intact, killing the demons is more important.
That
Because
was
it,
not his
turns,
smartest move.
because it turns out I am a blue mage.
Oh,
All right.
you're age. I don't know what that means, but
So,
Go
you
with us.
all pass through these double doors, and a very strange tableau emerges. The first thing that strikes you is the grandeur of this space. The interior is... I'm terrible at actual guessing. Huge, massive ceiling that seems to stretch out forever. Huge, intricate panels of stained glass that you saw from outside. And the light passing through, it almost looks like the ground has been painted with this light. But just like in the last room, you can see that the light has all been tinted orange. Far more disturbing is what you see in the back of the room. This is the space where the Eminence were meeting. You see what looks like 3 tables arranged in a triangle. One of the tables has been sort of pushed to the side. One has been fully knocked over. Hiding, you can see the back of it, hiding behind one of the tables that's been knocked over is a man in a suit with a pinstripe suit with like a stole, normally impeccably moosed hair that's now wildly disheveled, and it is Nalt Manfur taking cover and cowering behind this table. In the back, you can see the centerpiece in this room, a massive crystalline sphere radiating light. But you can see some kind of ritual has been performed around the base of this light. And it seems to be the source that is emanating this fiery orange glow into the room. Several more of these quasi-tieflings seem hard at work progressing this ritual. In the back, leaning up against one of the walls and kind of keeping a wary eye, is Beery. But at this distance, even from here, you can see Beery looks changed. When you saw her before, she had this sort of massive golden and silver hair. Her hair is instead sort of this muted dark red color. And much like what Auric and Cyrus saw with Tolan and Nala, but more fully, there are scales sort of framing her face and running down her arms. Her hands are ending in draconic claws. But the scales are a sort of dull red-black. And she's observing the room. You also see, sort of at the center, right as you walked in, one figure seems to have grabbed another by the throat and slammed them against one of these tables. And you see Eminent Airtralux holding Nicholas Webster by the throat and pressing him down against the table. What do you want to do?
How close are the tieflings?
You're pretty far back. This is a large chamber, and they're sort of all the way on the other side. Probably more than 100 feet at this point.
Because I have spells that are 120 and 150.
I like the secret plotting.
Yeah.
So Nicholas is sort of flat against the table, choking and spluttering. He seems to have added just like a simple stole to his sort of sweater and button-down combo. His sort of salt and pepper hair pressed down against the table. Airtralux, who you all had not seen in person before, has this sort of brilliantly silver hair and seems to be displaying more strength than you would expect. You know that he has to be in probably his early 60s, but he seems to have just fully picked up Nicholas with one hand and slammed him down without a problem.
Did you say silver hair?
Yes, but this is the problem when I assign meaning to everything. This just looks like normal, like, human hair.
Old man hair.
Yeah,
Okay.
There is a distinctly metallic quality to the Tamarans, and it doesn't look like that.
Gotcha.
And so
That was the question.
Airtralux turns without letting up from Nicholas's throat and says, "So it looks like we have an audience. Perfect."
An audience or an aid, if you're in need. What exactly is going on in here?
Oh, well, it's really simple. We're defiling the temple. We're breaching the wards protecting the town of Queensboro from demonic incursion and unleashing an entire hell plane into the city. It's pretty basic.
Fun.
Good. Good to know. Can I cast something?
I really need to know how close those tieflings are now.
All of you go ahead and make a quick perception check.
Sure.
14.
Can't do math across
14.
hands.
9.
25.
Cool. Good save. Zyra, something's off. Like, literally something in this room doesn't look right. You're not... You don't think you're seeing what's really here. Some part of this room is not what it appears to be.
Are we talking characters? Or control? Or agency?
So you sort of focus down on it, and there's... You would almost miss it, except that you've literally spent, like, dozens of hours with Auric now. And so you've been sort of continuously in the presence of someone who is under the effect of illusion magic. And when you kind of squint, the table and Nicholas and Airtra don't look right. There's almost a wavering like you see around the Ring of Seeming.
And Zyra's the only one to receive this.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Tell us.
What am I saying? There's something weird going on right there?
I see illusion.
I see dead people.
I don't think that's Lux.
Even though you don't say that particularly loudly, Airtra laughs and goes, well, I didn't think it would fool you for long. And his smile is huge. And you see that space waver and change. The table there seems to have been broken in half by some kind of magic and shoved to the side. What you see instead is imminent Airtra Lux, still seated in his chair. And he seems to be just sort of casually maintaining this glimmering sort of column of light around him. And with a hand outstretched that now ends in like red-black leathery skin and black talons wreathed in orange fire is Nicholas Webster, seemingly applying some kind of fiendish force attempting to bring down this barrier. And he's got this with one hand, but he has the other. He turns towards you and is just smiling.
Great.
And when you see the smile,
do not trust that asshole.
you remember a couple of things. You remember meeting Nicholas, and you saw the smile lines on the side of his face. And you remember receiving the books that he pressed into your hands, seemingly trying to avoid the awkward conversation about Beery. And as you think now in your mind's eye, the books crackle just slightly with fiendish energy as he presses them into your hands. Much like the necrotic burst that ripped through Pokey as you attempted to pursue the white van.
Poor Pokey.
You see... Well, Pokey was fine. It was y'all that were in trouble.
Yeah.
You see the same smile on that silhouette that was looking at you out the back of the window as it flung Lexi into hell.
Oh, so is your name Jack?
Well, we've gone by many names over the years.
Ah.
Jack is
All
one of
right.
my favorite.
Still talking and not shooting spells right now.
Oh, plenty of time for that, I assure you. But what's the point of a grand scheme without a little bit of pontification?
Go for it. Pontificate all you want. That's how those assholes fall. They talk too much. Lexi's read the book. She knows what villain monologuing is.
Casting vicious mockery on the dude.
All right, everybody roll for initiative.
Thank you.
Well, there goes that. I was going to say, while he pontificates, I try to get just within 120 feet of the other ones.
12.
I would have attacked already.
16.
Fucking 7.
14 for me.
Okay. What was that?
All
I
right,
didn't-
Mark.
Well, that's what they do.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see what it is. I had 17.
What did you roll?
12. Yeah. So I'm
Or
third.
Way to hide this.
Let's see, got 12.
Hold on. Auric.
16.
Auric Cyrus.
That Auric Lek. Oh yeah, Auric Cyrus, sorry.
Oh, well.
Yeah, Berg, Cyrus, Lexi, Zyra. Words.
All right. I will zoom us a little more out on the map so you can kind of see what you're looking at.
Auric, remember you have a Bardic Inspiration, and if you deal one of 3 particular your damage attack roll spells, you get to do double damage with your Bardic Inspiration.
Double damage. Oh.
You'll deal double the damage with the Bardic Inspiration die if you roll it.
Okay. That's right, because your Bardic Inspiration can be applied to damage.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Or yeah, it can
Ooh.
apply to damage and then it'll explode and she can use it to deal extra damage
Yes.
Got it.
if they miss their save on the explosion.
That.
So, a quick tour of the room on Twitch. Here we have Nicholas and Airtra. Airtra still sitting in his chair, maintaining his spell, and Nicholas pressing against it. These orange, these are pools of light coming in from the windows. There are 6 what look like the quasi-tieflings that you just fought in the last room. Up here is this sort of central light with the ritual being performed around it. Several of the quasi-tieflings are assisting, as is Beery, who is right here, and as is another figure who you're a little far away. We'll describe him more as you get closer, but he seems to be more fully tieflinged out compared to the others.
Okay.
All right. So y'all are way down here. So on initiative count 20, let's see. So on initiative count 20, Nicholas with his free hand gestures towards this orb of light that is slowly... It's almost like it's being wrapped. This white light is being wrapped in this orange flame. And it's probably 2/3 of the way covered. And he holds his hand out towards it. And the radiance of the orange grows brighter. And the white light grows dimmer. And when this happens, you see this echoed in all the places where light is coming into the room. The light actually takes on even more of that orange quality. And so you can see now, there is some kind of like orange mist filling these pools of light right now. It's almost like the light is illuminating dust particles, but they're like not passing outside of the light. There's just this mist hanging in the pools of light. So, first up is Airtra Lux. He's still sitting in the chair. And he does nothing.
Thanks.
Next is
Yeah.
Beery.
Oh, great.
Beery. Beery looks concerned. You're pretty far away, but you see her just kind of like she turns and looks at you and looks at Nicholas and looks back to what she's doing, and then just continues helping perform whatever this ritual is. All right, Auric, you are up.
Okay.
So you are a pretty good distance away. I'll move you a
How
little further
far
forward.
ritual specifically?
To the ritual, 130 feet.
Good lord. Okay.
Perfect.
The way you said that.
I will move, we'll say 20 feet closer to them. And then I will cast a firebolt at the nearest one of the, what's we call the tieflings.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Well, that'll be a 26 to hit.
All right then.
That'll definitely hit.
That is 8 fire damage.
So your fire streaks out and catches that orange cloak of fire around them. It like snaps into being as your spell approaches. It just glances off. The fire doesn't seem to bother it at all.
And that's exactly why I used a cantrip.
Exploratory cantrip.
Yep. In that case, I will now quicken cast, so as a bonus action, Maximilian's Earthen Grasp on Nicholas, or next to Nicholas, because it summons an actual physical hand.
All right.
So a hand of, what is the floor made of?
It would be like a heavy dark stone.
All right, a hand of stone just shoots up out of the ground to grab Nicholas, and he needs to make a strength save, DC 16.
All right. Not his strongest suit, but he rolls a natural frickin' 20.
Oh, God damn it.
But you know, not the worst thing he could have blown a natural 20 on.
Well, the hand remains as long as I concentrate, so
That's true.
that's movement, action, and bonus, so I'm done.
All right. And now it is Nicholas's turn. And he
Okay.
laughs. Nice. Let's
Cute.
see what to do. He is going to point towards you all and check the radius. Oh, yeah. All 4 of you make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
How's a 23?
16.
All right.
I wish I would stop landing behind the die thing.
Cool.
16.
7.
Cool. All right.
Oh,
So amazingly, 3 of you do fine on this. Zyra, you are this noxious mist that has been filling this these areas of light. He like drags a hand out, and a tendril of orange light snakes out of the pool, carrying that mist and sort of blasting it across you all. So, Zyra, you are poisoned, and at the start of your turn, you make a Constitution saving throw against poison. And if not, stuff happens.
Cool. I'll remember that.
All right, and he's going to stay where he's at, and it is Cyrus's turn.
Wait, so I get to make a new roll, so I could potentially make a better roll against Constitution.
Yes.
Cool.
but I should go ahead and paint this.
What do you see, Maisie?
That is wine. You do not get it.
Did we finish it?
Yes.
Are you gonna have another soup? Who knows?
There we go.
Anything's possible.
So this cloud does remain, and it is Cyrus's turn. At the start of Cyrus's turn, actually. Now, yeah, my mistake.
By the way, I rolled a 14 on initiative. I don't know if that means I would get to go before Nicholas or not. I just see I'm in the system as a 13.
Oh, I put that in wrong. Does it go to highest or lowest dex?
Highest.
Oh, I keep clicking on yours like it's going to show me your dexterity.
We already passed.
My mod's a 4.
Yeah.
I feel like in 5e, it's you decide amongst yourselves, and generally the player wins.
Well, it's decide amongst yourselves if it's 2 players. If it's contested, it goes to higher dex. So I'll put you first for next time.
Okay.
So you're up.
All right. Does Ertralux count as an enemy of Nicholas Webster for sneak attack?
He is an enemy, but he is not engaging. He is literally sitting. He's kind of doing the Bernie Mittens sit.
So all that matters is whether or not he's incapacitated.
I thought it says engaged.
Just enemy within 5 feet who is
yeah, that'll do it.
not incapacitated.
Y'all are such nerds.
I did too, but that's not the language.
Yeah, that is what it says. Yeah, so for that he would count.
Okay. So how far is Nicholas from us right now?
He is 90 feet.
Okay. So, I'm gonna move up 30 feet. Transfer my hex to him. Auric, did you say you were leaving Maximilian's grasp up?
Yes.
Okay, then I am hexing Nicholas's strength.
All right.
And I'm gonna shoot him. Oh, is there anywhere I can hide? Well, do I want to hide now?
Behind his pillar.
Is there space to hide?
Normally, I'm very flexible on that, but we've literally described this as like an intensely illuminated, long, large, empty hall.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do not hide in the orange lights.
I got a 14.
14. Let's see. $14 does not hit.
Okay.
It almost looks like it's going to go straight into his face, and he just doesn't move. And then there's almost like a brief moment where you almost see like where that orange fire was sort of holding up those others when they became injured. In this case, it's almost sort of like perching over him, like it's another creature, but it doesn't seem to be like... It seems to be protecting him in a more active way than the others.
Yeah.
gonna sneak some more cheese.
All right. Well, that's me.
All right. That makes at the end of your turn. Nicholas says, No. It's supposed to look like this. And he points at you, and he is that. So he is going to make 1. Nope. That's embarrassing. That's better. Rolled a nat 1 on that first Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
A smoldering bolt of force smashes across your shoulder for 6.
What did he roll on the attack?
Hold on. Where's my roll log? 25.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna uncanny dodge. Take 3.
There you go.
What are you eating?
Cheese slices. Whoops. Nothing. I am consuming the void. It is.
Meanwhile, we have a cat teaser.
It is Lexi's turn.
If the video suddenly goes wonky, it's because Maisie has knocked the stool and the tablet off of the stool. Just warning you.
Either Joe is a good cat daddy or he's trying out for Olympic ribbon dancing.
Why not
It's a
both?
combination of both.
Porque no los dos. Sí.
Yeah. His nephew was doing the exact same thing. He was loving the ribbon dancing.
Yes, he was.
We told him we were very sorry that only women can compete in rhythmic gymnastics.
For now.
For now. If he dreams hard enough, maybe Preston can become the first
Yes.
male rhythmic gymnastics.
All right,
and rhythm
Lexi,
dance.
you are up.
All right, so am I still raging then? Because we stopped combat and then restarted.
I don't know. That's up to you.
Okay. Because I didn't plan on stopping my rage, but I know that we rolled initiative again, so.
I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay, sweet. All right, who's closest to Lexi?
The closest is probably going to be one of these quasi-tieflings at
right.
about 70 feet.
70, so you're not going to
Damn.
move.
All right, so I'll just move towards them since I'm so far away.
Do you have a ranged weapon?
I do. Let me see.
You have javelins, don't you?
Yeah, I have javelins.
Throw a javelin.
All right, so I'll throw a javelin. I'll move my 40 feet and then throw a javelin.
All right.
And that was a 15.
15 will hit.
Okay. And I rolled 10 points of damage.
I had to really stop and think for a second which kind of enemy this was.
I don't know that. You know what? I think I hit the wrong thing. My bad. My apologies. Let me re-roll the damage. 11 to hit. 11 damage.
Nice.
Sorry.
You
I accidentally rolled the hit again.
you hurt this guy super badly.
All right. I'm gonna throw another one at him, see if I can't knock him out all the way. 20.
That'll
Unnatural. 30-20.
hit. You drop this guy.
Yeah, 9 damage.
This person is noticeably less tieflingized. They just seem to have like a little bit of that flickering orange fire, and as you throw your javelin, it's wreathed in those amber flames again, and just like before, the amber light just seems to disperse that orange fire. And that person goes down.
Okay.
All right, that was Lexi. Now you see the guy in the back move. And I got to pull up his description because it's fun. So the guy who is sort of behind this corruption ritual that's happening sort of stomps his way around, and you almost feel like maybe you saw this person. Like maybe they were at the Radiant Dawn building when you were there. But they're almost unrecognizable now. Two huge thorn-wrapped horns or antlers emerge from either side of his forehead. It seems like he has thorns piercing up through his skin, which has turned a green-black all over his body. There's additional thorned vines wrapped around his limbs, and his hair seems to be just this long knot of tangled vines, and all of them are dripping this green-black poison.
Who is this?
This is the guy up
in the
here,
back here.
who's going to walk around. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So it's not Nalt.
No, Nalt is cowering.
That you've been introduced to.
Yeah, Nalt is
Nalt.
cowering behind a table.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure Nalt hadn't been attacked by this way and wasn't like dripping green stuff.
No, Nalt is a consummate survivor, and actually, in like the tiny amount of time combat has started, seems to have started making his way towards a door to flee.
Oh,
Fair.
That's probably fair.
that mean a non-combatant that I don't have to defend? Not me to do that. Let's see. Is it my turn yet?
We're getting close. There's a lot of people in this fight. There's a lot happening.
Okay.
Lexi and Cyrus need to make a strength saving throw. Jabez takes one of these thorn-wrapped vines off his arm and just like spikes it down into the ground, and more of these vines erupt out and tangle around Lexi and Cyrus.
I rolled a 19.
Yeah, you
2.
good. 2, all right. Cyrus is restrained.
I don't remember.
20 foot, yeah. All right. Give you 1 for restrained. I also need to mark everyone who's concentrating on spells.
Not Lexi.
Lexi's just angry.
Lexi's just angry.
Everybody concentrating. All right, that was his turn.
I have concentration slot.
The
Concentration spell.
3 quasi-tieflings around the light continue their ritual. There's one off to the side who's going to step forward.
Concentration join the powerful, so you can't stack multiple concentration
I
spells.
didn't think I thought I couldn't hear.
And,
Nope. Concentration.
you know, I think he is legitimately concerned about Lexi and doesn't know better at this point. So he is going to cast this orange fire flows off of him into these 3 discrete like spears of flame, and he throws them at you.
Okay.
That's a 13.
Yes.
Miss.
17.
All right, that'll hit.
And 16.
That'll hit.
All right. But of course, with your resistance, it's going to do nothing. So the first one deals 2 points of damage after resistance.
Okay.
And the other one, does 14 points of damage, but that's going to be 7 with your resistance.
Really 9 total.
So this amber light coming off of you is just easily pushing back these orange flames. And the tiefling, again, just... You see the fire around it. You're able to recognize now that the fire, the silhouette of it has horns. And you can tell because the brow of this silhouette furrows, and you see the horns twitch a little bit. All right, it is Dr. Zyra Skylark.
Which means I believe the beginning of my turn with the strength save? Or
Constitution. All right, you are poisoned, and you spend your turn coughing and retching, which is a very vivid description.
I mean, it kind of feels like 2 nights ago, but yeah.
So you still have your bonus action and your movement. You just can't take an action.
Okay, that's fair. In that case, I want to move up. I want to move up, but not very close. I want to be within 120 feet of the back of the room.
Of the ritual.
Of the ritual.
All right. So your 30 feet of movement gets you to within 120 feet. It does not quite get you out of that cloud, so you'll have to save again next turn.
Oh, can I get out of the cloud?
You actually can't because you were far enough back in it, and you can't take a dash action.
Okay. I mean, okay, yeah, fair. I kind of feel like as we were walking in, we might have moseyed a little bit, just kind of like not attacking, not moving, just kind of moseyed and been a little bit further into the room, but okay. If I was playing it, that's how I would have played it. Whatever. And... So technically I'm not taking any damage, I just lost an action, right?
Right.
Okay. Who has taken the most damage at this point?
Lexi's taken 10, and I've taken...
Okay, cool. You know what?
You also just give out a Bardic Inspiration. Is that a bonus? That's also
It is.
bonus,
I'm gonna give another bonus, another Bardic Inspiration. I'm gonna give it to dude here.
All right. At the end of your turn, Nicholas lets out another low chuckle, and he's going to fire off another... Yeah, he's going to fire off another Eldritch Blast. He does not like the rate at which Lexi is advancing across the room, so he is going to target her.
All right.
First one is a 22 to hit.
Shit, that hits.
Oops, I can just click this. Next one is a 14 to hit.
Nope. Close, but no cigars.
All right. 8 points of force damage reduced to 4.
All right.
It's kind of like someone like shooting. It's almost like they're shooting beanbags at you, but the light is blunting so much of the force that it's just like a, and you're fine. All right, that person is dead.
We're gonna get hits for the cat videos, but not for the. Hi.
Maisie is very focused on this rainbow ribbon teaser, so
It did that thing where it crashed out D&D Beyond.
Oh no!
Thankfully, I've got it pulled up in Roll20, but that means that I need to write down everybody's initiative real quick. 14.
Don't fall off.
It will let me get a chance to fix Cyrus's initiative.
That's been only like 4 programs at the same time.
So the only one that you all had hit is the one that is... You all have killed 2?
I mean, I haven't killed anybody. I'm here coughing.
Oh, no. Lexi killed one. Auric shot a bolt that didn't end up hitting, and the grasping hand didn't hit.
And I didn't hit
Cyrus,
Nick.
okay.
So
I
So only the
confirmed that
one
there-
is dead.
Yes. But they are not immune to being smacked upside the head.
They're not immune to hammers.
Okay. Now that I have written all of those out, I can reload this page. It would sure be nice if it would, like, remember and not make me restart
Start
the
from
whole
scratch.
thing.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Yeah.
Zyra 7, Cyrus 14, Auric 16. That is a point for the paper only crowd, that your paper tracker never crashes.
It is very true. The paper does not crash on you.
Sometimes it burns, and sometimes someone pours coffee on it, but there are hair dryers.
Sometimes Mountain Dew spills, but
Cheeto dust.
All right. We'll get this fixed. Nicholas 14, Airtra 20, Salem 21, Jabez 11, Simon 10, Warlocks 9, Priest 5, and hey, I fixed it.
yay!
Okay, now we just got to mark the people who are dead. You're dead. Everyone else is okay. All right, so that was, yep, this tiny, the least of the quasi tieflings. Not sure of what exactly to do. Is going to, yeah, he's just going to try and he's going to cast Bless on... Yep. He's going to cast Bless on the 3 warlocks who are manning the ritual. And at the end of his turn, Eldritch Blast. Nicholas is going to fire off a few more bolts, this time targeting Cyrus. 18 to hit.
Yep.
All right. First one was a 12, so... Uh, 8 points of force damage.
You just let your helpful person do something.
Huh. Well, that just happened.
I'm not sure I like the sound of that.
Mm-hmm.
It just did it again, but that's okay.
The game.
So, at the end
I
of
was
the...
going to ask about pausing at the end of this round anyway, because I think this fight's going to go pretty long.
That is true. So that was the end of his turn. Yeah, that'll actually be a good spot. That'll put us at the top. I will figure out why this is crashing, which makes me so very frustrated. So we'll figure out why it's crashing. Are we good to go next week, or is that another moving window?
So that's the date we're supposed to move in, is the 29th.
Yeah.
And the internet's not coming till the 30th. So
Oh.
If we need to do it on my phone on data.
yeah, we could use data if we have to, but we don't want to. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not that then.
yeah.
So skip to the maybe can we do the 5th?
Yeah, I can do the 5th. We're not going anywhere because it'll be a day off for us because obviously the holiday. And
Yeah.
I think I can
can you do the 5th, Colby?
once.
I think she chased one of her mice under a box.
Oh no, she chased a mice under a box.
I had to consult with my my calendar. Yes, I
Yeah.
should be good.
Okay.
All right. Child. My God, she's crazy.
Which means I will guarantee you I will not know what is happening.
Well, at least the nice thing with a battle is that, like, with the exception of D&D Beyond crashing and being dumb, everything will just pop back up where it was.
That is true.
I just have to remember that my next move is just use the hand again.
Yeah, mine is get out of the poison cloud.
Yeah. And even if you had come in further, he would have just cast the cloud further forward.
Okay.
All right. We will we will resume this kaleidoscopic hellscape battle on the 5th.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Peace.
Good night.
Rec-